Thanks so much, guys. I'm here with Coach Termi. They just came off a massive win here. Congratulations. But something that I've been curious about, it feels like after yesterday, DRX is on a whole nother level. They're clearly clicking and things are working out. What has been the difference in the preparation from Tokyo till now for you guys to be able to walk out with that big win here?
어제 이후로 좀 계속해서 팀이 발전한 모습을 보여주고 있는데 준비 과정에 있어서 도쿄 마스터즈와 이번 챔피언스에서 차이가 있었을까요?
도쿄 마스터즈보다 챔피언스에서는 저희가 팀 합을 맞추는데 중점적으로 연습을 많이 했고요. 팀이 완벽해지는 데 있어서 집중을 했던 것 같습니다. 네.
Well, firming up our plays for one, and also we tried to work on things as a unit, as a whole, so we focused on our teamwork.
Yeah, and how proud of you, of the team are you after that big win? Because they came back after a huge deficit.
역전 이후에 좀 승리를 가져갔는데 얼마나 자랑스러우신가요?
일단 선수들이 너무 자랑스럽고요. 거의 불가능에 가깝다고 생각을 했었는데 전반전 때문에 진짜 선수들이 너무 자랑스럽습니다. 네.
I am super proud, especially because myself even thought that, coming back from that first half was like impossible, near impossible. So I'm really happy that they pulled it off.
Well, there's one thing we've learned about DRX is that they are very capable of pulling off the impossible. Let's send it back over to you guys on the desk.
Well said, Golden Boy. Indeed, I think we all agree with Termi after that first half. Probably didn't expect DRX to make the comeback, but Brent and Sideshow, they did.
Yeah, that was
somehow
ridiculous. I mean, Na'Vi looked like they absolutely were in control of the first half. CNED was on fire on defense. I mean, his operator was popping left, right, and center, and then fell off a cliff second half. Na'Vi only had one attacking first kill in the whole map.
Insane.
In the whole map.
That is insane. Yeah.
How do you win that? You can't win.
And I think that's just evidence as well of Na'Vi just having limited practice time when they change it their comps last minute. Like, we know that they haven't had much time to practice, and they are changing it mid-tournament like that. You can clearly just see that in the way that they were playing one half to the next. It was so lopsided.
Yeah, and also if we take a look at some of these rounds, just the clutching and craziness we saw from DRX definitely got them over the line. Round 18, Sideshow round 20 as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is where you see what Na'Vi were really running into. It was the B hits. They couldn't break this crossfire that was coming from RB and Cubby, and then the Sky player of Stacks is frequently going to be over towards, either the back of side or towards elbow, something like that. They couldn't stop that from just carving through Na'Vi.
Yeah, and insane resilience as well, just to be able to come back from this. I mean, the Mako clutch here was just fantastic, wasn't it? Just the cherry on top for them. I mean, multiple moments as well. Previously, where he's sticking to the fuse all the way. Just, again, getting the hard read that they're not going to peak off the first tap, which is just insane to do on the big stage like this. Like, it's the biggest stage of the year, combination of your entire year as well, and they're making plays like that. They've won the map where, honestly, where it started out, weren't expecting them to win it at all. We're heading into an even stronger map pool now for DRX with Split and Lotus.
I thought this one would be one-sided towards Na'Vi, the second two would be towards DRX, and DRX have picked up the first. I mean, it just looks like game over.
Oh, well, okay, let's not go there just yet.
He didn't curse the other game today, so he's fine.
But let's check in and see how Doombros is feeling after that, ahead of map 2. He's standing by with Golden Boy.
Thank you so much, guys. Of course, here with Coach Doombros. Obviously, tough situation you guys found yourself in. It felt like it was a winnable one for y'all. What did you guys think went wrong in that game? But also, how are you guys going to look to try and bounce back going into map 2?
What went wrong? I think some of our players weren't hitting our shots, we weren't trading properly. Some situations didn't went our way, but honestly, if you lose a winnable game, I think that's a better feeling than winning a losable game or thinking, yeah, we should have won it. So we thought, yeah, we should have won it. It's actually a positive feeling. So even if you lose the match, we can go away from it saying, oh yeah, we're actually the better team here. So we're confident.
I like that, man. Doom, always a pleasure to talk to you, brother. Back to you guys.
I mean, that's what you want to hear from your coach, Brent, after a loss
I would
like
not be able to do that, to be honest. I mean, I would not be able to just brush it off like I would be boomed for the rest of the series. But that's why they're on the stage and not me. So
yeah, I think this is still going to be extremely difficult, though. What DRX showcased on Split was an incredibly good understanding of how they wanted to approach the map. They dismantled Loud, and Zest's Viper continues to be fantastic. I mean, all of their players had opportunities to shine. RB, for example, on the Yoru, even though I didn't like the way that he was using a lot of the Yoru utility, he still had 6 first kills on their defense side, just allowing the game to come to him. they all found their moments and found their form while the Na'Vi players started dropping off.
And now we're heading into the next map of Split, which is just, I mean, from what we saw of them the other day, it was top form from across top to bottom with this entire team. Zest was the highlight, don't get me wrong, on the Viper. Like, this guy is an absolute menace right now. You can see the results just, again, in the play with the fact that they've just had that month and a half and they've kept that consistent roster, finally.
It looks like he's scrim.
Yeah, exactly. It actually looks like he's got playtime. Who would have thought?
But also, one of the reasons why I think you would not be as confident in DRX is because you didn't know at what point they decided upon this roster. And Termi was saying in the press conference after they won the game yesterday that they decided immediately after Tokyo. They just knew that this would be their starting 5. And so they've had a full month and a half where they're not chopping and changing between things. And they look a bit more refined. And considering that was Bind, where they've never really been able to put up a winning strategy, they've taken down Na'Vi, who are not half bad there.
I mean, Bind was not good for them historically. I think it was like a 28% win rate across the entirety of the history, which is just, I mean, it hasn't been a good map, and they took it against Na'Vi.
Yeah, as you can see from the Prime Gaming agent select here, I believe that this was the comp that Na'Vi were running in LCQ on Split, or did they make a change?
I think they've run a variation. This Shao, I think, was on the Fade, I think. I remember that correctly.
Right, yeah.
And so that's the only switch up they've made.
Yes.
Yeah, but this comp is good for them, but the only trouble is you kind of need Angel to get space for Zipan and CNED when I've been watching them play it.
Well, I think CNED needs to be proactive and hitting shots as he was in the first half of Bind. If you get that version of CNED, they've got a great chance. But you've got to be worried about trap plays, about Zest Viper causing chaos, and Mako being in good form. There's so many threats on the side of DRX.
And also, I think one of the things that was really impressive about DRX yesterday is they were not afraid of Loud's last 20-second executes on the site. They had the answer for that. And as you both know, Na'Vi, they play a similar game sometimes.
They are slow sometimes. Yeah. And I feel like you've just got to see Na'Vi be able to gather more than one attacking first kill. They're not going to start in that half, but, you know, get out to a good start and again, still got to be good at the half.
I'll hit the same point that you just brought in. You got to see that proactivity, I think, from the duelist players of Na'Vi if that's going to happen. Because in the past, you know, they win and pave the way to those attack side wins with Angel double TPing into heaven, and then suddenly one of the duelist players, you know, Zipan and CNED, they've got the poor job of trying to catch up and just like, you know, offset the feed. But you got to see a bit more from them here, but we're heading into Split. Should be very favored, I think, for DRX.
Yeah, and if there's anything that Na'Vi are good at is the preparation, the anti-stratting. They've seen DRX play Split already here at Champion, so maybe Angel will have an answer, because if he doesn't, DRX will be the team that will make it to playoffs. I'm going to toss this over to your casters and take us through map 2. Take it away, Doug and Hypok.
Thank you so much, Shinsu. Yeah, we're going to jump right into the action here. DRX on the attacking side. You see a heavy lean towards A early, and it's just the Cypher. It's just Sugetsu here early. See how quickly they try to bully, as Navi's just so much more concerned about establishing control across the middle of the map.
I mean, if this is quick enough, it could be a positive for Na'Vi, but...
It's all about the pace. How quickly do they go?
DRX slowly funneling up towards ramp, and I think now Na'Vi and people backing towards a position to greet this execute.
This Cypher cam is so miserable to deal with. You've got to get so far up before you can clear it out. Meanwhile, DRX have gotten their way out onto the site. Some of the defenses are there, but Mako looking to play spoiler up in heaven. No challenge yet. It's just Sugetsu who's playing on the other side, and he's going to play into this. Well, of course he's going to play into this, but they walked right by each other, Mike!
He's able to slip through the poison orb here. Going to get the backstab on Shao. He will fall.
Oh, it's a surprise. Now you see the double duelist from Na'Vi causing problems. They've gotten the spike down. They've repositioned up towards heaven. You see some of the mollies come through, but you're not expecting Sugetsu here. Either way, handled. Zest cleans him up. All falls onto RB. He's got to swing out. He's got to get one, and Angel's timing is perfect. Na'Vi will get the pistol.
A very slippery pistol round from DRX, but you see the frustration on Stax' face. Unable to find any further pressure here, but Marco repeating the smoke criminal antics from yesterday. Nearly runs away with that one. The fact DRX are able to get the open plant for heaven as well in this situation. Na'Vi just find everything they need.
I mean, Angel's timing there. As you mentioned, you see frustration already. What felt like such a close situation. The potential for DRX to take another pistol, ultimately not falling their way. And you see the buy from the attacking side. There's a little bit here. You've got a Sheriff in the hands of RB, a couple of Ghosts. And it seems like they want to head B, where Angel's already waiting. That one way so difficult to deal with, or picked up. Very systematic by Na'Vi.
You notice as well the camera, this is going to be the default force who gets to every single round, and we're looking for these early rounds to be as productive as possible in terms of dealing with it, finding a way of removing it, denying that information, because it's going to allow Na'Vi to sit in very heavy leans towards mid and B, just on the back of that one piece of utility. They dealt with here, but
watching here.
Miracles from DRX, so they can make these pistols work.
What they do have here is the power in numbers. There are 3 on the other side of this smoke. Angel's left alone, and he does not have the weaponry to deal with it. Overwhelmed, CNED from up in heaven, who was supposed to be providing cover, shows up a little late, but not too bad. See the push through from Mako, not able to find any space either. This has gone absolutely sideways for DRX, and you didn't expect much. But this is almost as clean as you could possibly ask for from Na'Vi.
And one big objective here, obviously, for Na'Vi, you don't want to see these rifles removed, and CNED will find a third on the round.
Oh, I think even on top of that, it's not just that they didn't lose rifles. 3 members carry full armor into the next round. They didn't take any damage. You don't have to reinvest in situations like that. You see why this ever talked about buy now from Na'Vi can be so difficult to navigate. Early on, it just snowballs quickly.
We've seen it just 2 off the Blade Storm as well. Another thing to offset the finances even further for them.
It's a very good point.
DRX will spread a little thin here. Spike across towards A side, but don't expect any early commitment with just 2 members of DRX. Na'Vi's utility removed, and once again Na'Vi will secure this orb in garage. See, they're going hunting though. As Zest has found an open elsewhere. Zipan way ahead of the utility that's set up as security towards A site, or at least towards heaven.
Yeah, dancing in a dangerous situation. Work his way around a fine line, and ultimately is not punished for it. Meanwhile, Na'Vi's still taking so much of the space down B. Look at how far up Angel is. And yeah, there's a little bit of help from Xiao, but if the timing's not great, he's in trouble.
Well, they have to farm here because it's everybody from DRX drifting this way.
There's the flash. There's the confirmation. RB's ahead of it, though. They look to swing. Angel on the reposition, dropped. Xiao has to tuck tail and get away. And now in the face of the paranoia, in the face of the dog, manages to take one. Well done. But the sight lost.
Sugetsu almost actually finds a kill on the way out. Zest will secure it though. CNED, a 1v4. Still pretty healthy, but just find a couple of kills very early on here. We'll make this a possibility.
You see the paranoia and just how he's handling his crosshairs. There's someone low, is behind pillar, behind garage, up in heaven. So many things to consider, so many angles to check, and just not enough resources to do it all.
Well, he did find a kill before falling, so those 2 away from the Blade Storm. Does actually get it. Yeah, that's Zest drifting up in that lurk, up towards ramp.
This contact he plays is causing problems. We'll see if we see more of that. I'm also really curious to see if Na'Vi continue to try to bully what's happening in B. You think about the previous round, instantly cleared the turret, as you mentioned, the one-way, the flash, and they just established control instantly. Do DRX push into that, knowing what's on the other side? That's exactly what happens. Angel's punished. Read him like a book.
And relying heavily on that conditioning early on, but DRX are the ones to flip it back in their favor. Angel dead off the rip, no smokes. And CNED and Sugetsu's cages, but
careful.
Straight away DRX feeling like they're going to have pulled the rotation. I think a good read on how Na'Vi want to approach playing this composition with Sugetsu on the Cypher, leaning heavily on the other side of the map to where this utility is invested in. Totally wrong read.
Right.
Nobody even within earshot of hearing this. Nobody going to benefit off these trips either.
No, I mean the cam looked like it spotted one. Both trips have been cleared. You see the utility from RB has been planted and set up. And they can draw a line in the sand here, Mike. They can establish so much control. It's going to be so difficult, so labored for Na'Vi to get through.
Zest very disconnected from this, but the rest of DRX tucking into these Very tight positions on site. I think Na'Vi probably thinking better at this one, yeah.
Wow, early. Perhaps because Cena's holding an op?
Yeah, not feeling confident whatsoever about the retake.
No. And again, I'm going to take you guys down a long path here because it goes all the way back to Angel at the beginning of the round, dying, forcing Na'Vi in a position where they kind of have to play off B, or off A, excuse me, and rely on the utility from Sugetsu. That's essentially what lost them that round.
But the thing is, the success of this comp, and look towards Fnatic, one of the ones that obviously employed it very, very well, is it relies on actually mitigating early round risk, not giving away an opening engagement, because a lot of this comfort is set up just by receiving information on A.
Sure.
It enables pushes down mid or a stack in Garage, for example. Angel a little ahead of the curve in that regard, but with no resistance shown towards the orb and it being given up for free. Maybe just feeling like he has some room to play with. The beautiful isolation from DRX, though. And it has forced the adjustment, Sugetsu, at least in this round. Angel toying with the idea again.
The man is persistent.
He doesn't give up, no. It takes a lot to really deter him.
Placing swarm grenade. Swarm grenade out.
But these are very curious rounds because there is an operator on the other side. So if DRX get an early read of that adjustment, look what they're going to be walking into.
It's interesting, too, because I don't think they ever confirmed that there was an op in the previous round either. So again, suspicions on the other side, and there it is. Yeah. Shot rattles off, confirming the weaponry that's on the opposite side. With that, DRX still continue, still intent on pushing into the teeth of this defense. Into the weapon, the paranoia is there, Buzz waiting to go, and there he goes! CNET plucks him out of the sky! Xiao not able to follow suit. Op hits the ground harmlessly as the site once again is lost.
Spike planted.
The pit will go up, giving them some safety on site as well. Na'Vi looks at the first turn locked out of this. Yeah, Angel will retrieve the operator. I think that's just the #1 objective here. After the spike has been planted. Na'Vi lagging behind a little bit in terms of the rotation. There was a ton of pressure coming towards them, but maybe Cena just spotting the turret is enough of an indicator to say RB's just the one here to lurk and control this space.
Yeah.
Why it's not. That's why we don't see, a rotation earlier on. I love the diligence behind the utility here, though. The Trailblazer clears all the way up ramp. Marco still posts the paranoia to clear out that window, clear out rafters. And then they look to overwhelm CNET on that operator, even though it was shown early. They don't back away from it. DRX will find a third here in succession and force a very early timeout from Na'Vi.
Surprisingly so.
A beautiful shot.
I mean, straight out of the sky, a jump scare on top of it, to be honest.
Also, a nano swarm landed there. I didn't catch that damage going down, actually. So, a drilled set piece from DRX.
And ultimately, while it was Buzz who followed, they did overwhelm him. They did take him down without dealing any more damage. So, as you were mentioning, an early timeout called from Na'Vi. Now that they've seen a couple of rounds of what DRX is going to try to do on attack, and now that they've seen that some of their early approaches and their early intentions are not going to work the way that they thought that they would, choose to throw the brakes on it and reconsider, see what depth there is to the playbook. And again, given the fact that you're down 1-0 in this series, yeah, it's the upper bracket of this group, so you're not playing for life, but you don't expect to have to dig this deep into the playbook early on Split. Not this early.
There's an opportunity for Na'Vi to really show. I mean, looking at the veto, actually coming into Split, this is when you gotta kind of hedge your bets on DRX having the advantage here in map 2. We'll take another couple of rounds to break the money of Na'Vi, considering the number of times we've seen them save these weapons across.
That's the only thing that's got them in this position, to be
yeah,
honest.
I mean, they'd be really struggling if they were losing these weapons after the fact. Still sitting on the Blade Storm, just building up to a couple more. Xiao one off the Seekers. Another adjustment on the utility from Sugetsu here. The focal point becoming mid here, or at least Angel initially showing intention.
Buzz wanting to feel it out and see what's up here. They haven't explored this very much.
Typically would see Zipan playing alongside Sugetsu in these sort of setups to make use of the information.
There.
That's just crazy how I mean, a new setup from the Sugetsu, as you were mentioning.
And he swings on the camera.
Yeah, and just, I mean, clears it out instantly. Takes care of the trip, clears out the camera.
All ahead of the 1 minute mark as well. I mean, Na'Vi preemptively start to rotate, but I think CNED's paranoia is that somebody can slip through heaven in towards spawn. So spread very thin on this A-side defense. Angel's got to be careful. He has to toe the line here.
You see CNED is now peeking out towards heaven without Viper Wall up. There's really no information of what's coming in through mid. Angel's going to get overwhelmed once again. RB's going to be late on this pinch, but they're going to get heaven control. Unless CNED can do something about it. And no, he's dropped instantly. The satchel out. Zipan trying to hold the line, trying to keep him back. One's all he finds.
Sugetsu slipped through. He's ahead of this.
They have no idea. You're absolutely right. How much work can he find? Stacks with 20 HP. Laughing in the face of danger, swinging forward and getting another.
But they got the open plant once again. So a chance here for Sugetsu to find cheeky half defuse, but RB swings onto it. DRX looking in total control of this first half of Split right now.
I mean, in the face of different looks from Na'Vi. Think about it, on the other side of the timeout, we talked about Sugetsu's change. I mean, there was differences in how Xiao was playing. Angel was in a different position as well. It was an entirely different look.
And like I said, the fact that that's removed so early on in the round, it gives DRX so many options, so many opportunities. Put Sugetsu back in a position towards A. Setting up the same camera towards heaven. He does have Zipan alongside him this time. DRX just gaining so much from this default early on. Also in a couple of rounds where they have shown some pace. Catching Angel off guard in Garage, for example. That's also suited them very well. Des was touching on Na'Vi's comfort zones historically, sometimes being in these slower rounds, but certainly not so far.
No, taste of their own medicine is bitter. But they want to fight this, the paranoia and the flash. Oh, this is beautiful, but he finds nothing. I was so well set up. I thought they were dead. But Angel now trying to face into the smoke and play hero. He cannot do it either. What a fumble.
I mean, the Seeker just reveals Angel's TP at the worst possible time. Showstopper doesn't catch him, but he's overwhelmed. Zipan and Sugetsu now. Yeah, 2v4. Showing intention to actually commit towards this.
Player standing.
But it's going to seal the deal. Sugetsu finds a response, though.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a 1v4 if he wants to pull this off. You see the reposition from RB heading towards heaven. Just another thing to consider. Way too much. Sugetsu falls. DRX continue to march forward. And Mike, I've got to go back to that garage play. We'll see if we get another look at it because, I mean, there were 3 members there. They were all flashed up. You think for sure you're at least getting one.
I mean, the utility is absolutely perfect from Na'Vi. It's just there's too many people to shoot at. You can't find a single one of them. A heartbreaking.
I thought he was melting out of his chair, man. I thought he was going to hit the deck. Certainly an opportunity to slip through their fingertips. But again, no real time to think it through, no real time to dwell on it. So we march forward, Zipan getting that orb.
And that's everything in the inventory for Na'Vi here.
Yeah. The question is, you look at their buy, and it's not great. 2 rifles, 3 pistols. Do you invest?
Or did they get the opportunity to?
Yeah.
They can find a man advantage potentially, but DRX have been fantastic at recovering from 4v5 positions. Another question altogether with all of these ultimates facing off against them. Seen at a very deep position on mid here. DRX maybe anticipating some aggression on the back of all these ultimates. Unconfirmed, yeah, but Zester's taking a chunk of damage.
There's just so much, actually, there's so much passive info that CNED is getting just because of his position right now. And you wonder here, the flash, they're actually rotating off of the flash. Xiao just got confirmation that there was presence A towards ramps, and they instantly flip back towards B. Buzz is already through with the paranoia, but Zipan's ult keeps them back. He's going to get a second and potentially more. CNED's on the hunt! It was messy, but both connect. And now Stax is left alone, having to think through what the heck just happened. How did we get here? CNED with 3 and Navi does 2.
A great recovery round from CNED in terms of the confidence as well. And you're right, we saw one round where that flash confirming presence, or not confirming presence elsewhere on the map on Bind. This time around, Navi don't fall for it. They stick to their guns and did that with 2 huge kills. Prevent this site hit. CNED cleaning up with a 3K.
The second one was gross. I mean, you deal with the whirling dervish of blades when you've got RB in your face, but...
DRX stacked up here. Are they looking to pop off this again? A deep flash. Luckily, Angel not overstepping this time around.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, a couple things here. The one way was missed because of the pressure, and even if it had hit, they're already past it. Angel just bullied off of this angle.
Shadows traveling.
Has to reposition and try to drop another.
There's re-smoke behind them as well.
Yeah. No real idea of where they are. Still has a paranoia in his back pocket. You see them waiting, perhaps, for the flash to come through.
Another example of DRX anticipating some aggression on the side of Navi. Trailblazer will clear, at least confirm, with 2 sets of shots onto it. RB elsewhere, actually trying to find space towards Heaven, or remove that camera here to maybe pull a rotation. Does it need to? There's 3 members in Navi.
Buy time. Let your lurker find some space, clear out some utility, but that's it. They go. They pounce, and Shao's there to receive. Gets the first, has the Seekers. Felt like they were perhaps a bit too quick on the trigger. Spike, something like that. They're going to flip, though. And RB's going to find some space. The spike is there, and it instantly falls to the ground. Sugetsu dancing around the cage, finding more value.
DRX in this round just trying to throw out some misdirection, but it needed a second person to be seen by the camera potentially.
10 seconds left.
Yeah,
to draw somebody away, but the pop is instant on B as the camera's removed. It doesn't even give Navi the time to consider a rotation.
And that's, in my opinion, what felt like the issue too, because they tagged RB with the camp. So they saw it was just one, and then it gets cleared out. There's no hesitation. There's no moment to instill some doubt in the minds of Navi. It's a pounce go, and it felt like it was just a bit too fast.
Great hold from Navi nonetheless. And
Down A.
I said Sugetsu comfortable still on site here to deny the TP from Marco from even finding the plant. Of course, the timeout for DRX. Not really worried just yet, but certainly Navi a course correction after 5 rounds strung together by DRX.
It's actually how crazy the staying power is from Navi given the timeline that you're seeing. Right, you think about how they've managed to keep enough money to stay competitive in this. The fact that they had 5 ults just a moment ago, so both of those were hitting at the exact same time. Because of those things, because of how well it's been handled, they're still in this, given the 5 rounds in a row from DRX. Just a few moments now before returning back into the action. Again, if you missed the first map, I'm so sorry. It was a treat. DRX winning 15-13 on Bind, getting us to this position where Navi find themselves down 1 and perhaps on a quick ticket to the lower bracket.
Ultimate's available here for Navi. Neural Theft, the Seekers, and the TP from Angel. Well, we see a big adjustment here from DRX coming out of the timeout. Like initially, Zest back in a position outside A. But Navi sticking to the laurels here, at least in terms of Sugetsu's utility and Zipan alongside him. But now giving up this fight towards Garage.
Yeah, and putting a lot more focus onto B. I don't think they've had to, I mean, maybe other than the pistol where they fully pushed through, but Navi's timing is great. Angel in the swing gets the duelist.
Okay, finds a second as well. Through the same smoke, Marco will fall. An early advantage, one of the first we've really seen from Navi, where they're able to disengage from.
Angel giveth and Angel taketh away. Question his aggression, and you question why he's first to die so often, and sometimes it looks rough, but then other times he just frags. You gotta take the good with the bad in situations like this. Is the timeout seems to not be what DRX was looking for.
Sure, they really had an opportunity to get things going there.
Yeah.
With 2 kills through the smoke in mid from Angel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And will be healthy in terms of the finances, as long as Stack's really the only concern, I'd say.
Well, he's getting cheeky, isn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say, if he wants to hold on to this rifle, get a consolation at least.
He does get 2 orbs off of that, and I wonder how close he was. I mean, 3 technically. You got the orb, got to kill him, then died.
Still 2 off the Seekers, though.
Yeah.
There.
I mean, the 3800s are still not too much of a concern. Lockdown available now for RB. Had a very, very slow start to this map. If DRX are planning on pinning anything together around that ultimate. Again, problem being the smoke goes up on screens. Sugetsu can very comfortably sit behind some of these trips.
So Stacks, we were talking about his economy. Goes light armor Vandal, doesn't buy a dog. It's just enough to get him into the round, but you think about the fact that you're looking to entry Buzz onto the site. Yeah, he has the Roomba, but we'll see how they choose to play around the lack of the Trailblazer. Meanwhile, almost all of Navi's here, Mike. They've got 3 here. CNET is playing in mid, so you can rotate over very quickly.
They're creeping closer and closer.
Meanwhile, it's the same Cypher Cam. It's the same setup. Buzz has gotten through. Looking for the trip, finds it. They're going to invest a lockdown, too. They're going to fully send on this.
Very late investment in the lockdown, and yeah, it's punished by the paint shell. A little bit unconsidered there.
Yeah, such an important tool, no longer available. Mako, though, able to clear one out. The Paranoia to buy some more time and create space for another.
Ooh, what?
What a shot! Zest is also playing really far off. The turret's still up and he has 2 mollies. I mean, you're expecting Angel to make a play here. I don't know if he's going to find the space. Oh my gosh, he slipped the net, but Mako Paranoid still gets him. And you imagine here, I mean, do they still go?
I mean, it's wraps at this point. Shao can find a couple of kills. CNET gets one as well, but time all but elapsed here.
Gosh, if he had hit that shot, oh no. Oh, I
thought for a moment he did as well.
I thought you see the smirk on his face in the player cam. That was a sinister one.
Last round before the switch.
Yeah, luckily the lockdown being dealt with doesn't result in DRX folding in this round, but lack of consideration with Zipan primarily being the person alongside Sugetsu on this A-side hold. What is that? Yeah, same.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just gifted a kill, I guess. And it works out. It gets DRX the lead back. It stops the 3-round swing that Navi had put together.
Sugetsu's position way more committed towards the choke point here. Trailblazer, I think, catching onto Angel.
Yeah, you hear 2 shots of the op rattle off, a second flash in towards Garage. But once again, it's a hit towards A. It's a hit right into the teeth of the defenses of the Cypher, and Zipan's there too. He's already gotten a couple. Angel trying to swing out and pile it on, and he cannot. And now the op has shown up. How do you get past this? Oh, that wall just barely keeping him alive. Zest is gonna find a lot of room here.
He's got the spike as well, so he's able to slip away from this. You see the ping on the minimap, actually Shao considering the possibility of being flanked. CNET picking up the slack. Again, Zest actually getting confirmation on the back of the Trailblazer sound cue. Able to find this plant now. Stacks a little bit disconnected from this. Can he find a backstab with Na'Vi funneling towards spawn?
Timing is everything.
It's an open plant for him. He has to play this late. He's getting aggressive.
Patience. You still have 2 flashes. Be patient. He's gotten the first. No real idea of the second in the smoke. Meanwhile, CNET still with the op going forward.
Now he can drift deeper. He's actually resetting towards main.
Just a tap. Just a tease. Just a bait for the swing, and CNET lands it. Aww. And now Sax is too far away. He's too far away. But it was enough to pull off. CNET, I can't believe he did it that way. Still lands a shot, but my goodness, what a play.
I thought for a moment there, Stacks drifting down mid. He's going to reset towards B main and just throw a little more misdirection in that situation, but 2 solo missions amount to nothing with CNED dissecting that with the operator. And this felt a little desperate in the early round towards 8. Yes, some early round indicators, sure, but...
You see it from CNED, man. He's feeling himself. Had a heck of a start on Bind. Seems to be doing just fine here early on Split. We're going to throw it to the analyst desk to break down that first half.
Thank you very much, Doug there, and Hypok. I'm here with Saito and Brent once again. I feel like at one point DRX could have run away with that half, but Brent, what a way for Na'Vi to stop the bleeding. Yeah,
a big part of it, I think, was them adjusting as well the Cypher setups, because they started over towards B. DRX were doing a really good job in their rounds of identifying that. Their objective was to break it and then go into other hits later into the rounds. But then they just started going for the B main hits all the time, right? And it was working against them. But overall, I mean, very even. Right, 6 for 6.
Incredibly even, and similar to Bind, actually. CNED popping off, even on first kills, but it's the next half I'm worried about Na'Vi. I did, however, want to break down Zest's Viper, because I've been talking about it the whole time, so I wanted to give you guys an idea, and if you're a Viper main, pay attention. So he's throwing this wall, which is perpendicular to the normal one, and it blocks off A ramp and A main, so it functions similarly to the wall and orb that most people throw. So that's the wall that he's using a lot of the time. He throws this lineup from outside B that blooms in front, and then he picks it up, and he can throw it afterwards once they get into B, and it puts a lot of extra pressure. So you see, he's got this wall that still creates the A pressure that he can go towards, then he's got a lineup that allows you to get out through B. That's why Na'Vi were fighting so much over B main control, over Garage, and then he picks it up and it's really useful for the post plant. Nobody else is doing this. Zesta's like refined it, probably while he wasn't in scrims actually. He's just in server time figuring it all out, and now he's actually getting to show it working in the server. It's a nice idea.
Yeah, but still even as well across the board, and it kind of loops back to the original point that we were talking about, which is CNED, I think, because we saw this. He absolutely popped off in the first half of Bind, and it slipped. His impact was dropping off the face of the earth. I think, what is it? He's on 14 kills currently in this map or something like that. If he keeps this one going, I think Na'Vi have a very real shot of really going all the way.
Oh, we will see if they can do this or not as we head back into the half with your casters, Doug and Hypok.
Thank you so much, Jinsu. Na'Vi on the attacking side now. This double duelist comp is going to get the opportunity to show what it's made of as we're jumping straight into the action. And Mike, you see it on the minimap. DRX convinced that it's a hit A, and boy, are they wrong.
Yeah, everybody from Na'Vi funneling to Garage very early on. RB, got to respect this. He's going to play his life and back away. And that's it. The Nano Swarm dealt with very quickly as well. So full 5v5 here in the post plant.
Yeah, nothing quite like it on a pistol. If you like chaos, you're in for some.
So nobody actually exploring towards spawn here. Would have had a shorty to deal with in the hands of RB, but what can DRX get it set up here? Still got plenty of util to work with.
Oh, it's gotten stuck. Oh no. Get on down there, buddy. He's overwhelmed. Somehow still dropped. I thought he was going to find a window. His kills go trade it back and forth. The 4v3 as you see DRX starting to funnel forward, starting to take space back. But Na'Vi hold the line. Stack's left alone, and he cannot deliver.
What a crucial headshot from CNED to deny the paint shell being sent into Pillar. It would have forced both players and Na'Vi out into the open by the finest of margins. Great flood from DRX initially here.
Yeah.
I mean, they get Zipan with it looked like no response or even attempted response from Na'Vi coming through, but these deeper positions pay dividends at the end of this round. The cleanup from Sugetsu, nonetheless.
You wonder here, too, who on the side of Na'Vi is going to come to life alongside CNED, because the Des mentioned it, we did too. He played well. It just wasn't enough on Bind, and he's playing well here.
Same setup again from DRX. Flash over the top.
They're going to push this. Sugetsu has so much info. Done well to take one.
It's a similar situation we talked about on one round of Bind where they find the kill, but no real upgrade here.
Yeah. Woo! RB with a nice pluck. Crispy shots. The second just a bit wide. And again, a spot where DRX, they've gotten a couple of kills, but as you mentioned it off of the first, no real way to upgrade. Nothing really found. No, in most other circumstances, you see this and go, okay, we're able to upgrade a weapon. Now we can fight back on a little bit more of equal footing, but that's just not the case. Zest is nothing more but a ghost, and he's about to swing out into a Guardian, and well...
Hang on.
or excuse me, a Vandal. See if he can pick it up. He's just so paranoid. Mako's got to take some space here. He's got to be a little bit more pacey on this. That Paranoid's got to buy some time. Weapon grabbed! And it's fallen down to a 1v1. Of course it is Zest with the Vandal. Upgraded. Angel in the 1v1. Misses on the first, swings out to the Ghost and lands the shot. Again, he giveth and he taketh away.
Crispy from Angel to close things out, but rifles removed. Will force the repurchase, yes. Na'Vi still pretty healthy in terms of the finances. Great shot from RB here.
Steady.
Unable to follow up on it though.
I mean, the confidence to I'm gonna go for the Ghost here.
The shower impressed too.
Yeah.
The good start for Na'Vi though, 2 on the board in the second half. Arguably the stronger half from DRX yesterday versus Loud as well. Buzz, the key factor, really. I mean, RB had a fantastic performance, yes, but Buzz was absolutely farming on DRX's defense.
See if he can do it again. Tested a little early. And it seems like there's more coming on the other side of that. You see the smoke out from Mako to help provide some cover. They're so intent on mid control. And that is a judge. That is a judge, my friends. The Trailblazer's not what he wanted to see. That Paranoid is going to buy some space, but he can't go back towards safety because of the nade. Help has arrived, though, courtesy of Buzz.
I was going to say, I'd be surprised if you still see Na'Vi after the Paranoia commit towards that. Already Stax making moves towards 8. RB been holding down the fort here, but as I say that, Stax thinking otherwise. I mean, now there's no sound cues, especially with Zest's position here. He's going to hear anything towards Garage and has open sight lines towards mid. Na'Vi going to find themselves a 5v2 potentially on A site.
Bomb grenade out.
We saw Sugetsu pull off some pretty ridiculous things from the defensive side here. We'll see if RB can do the same with the turret to help. Zipan up top, too many things to consider. CNED nice with it. The second after the upgraded weapon, and that's enough to get the sight. Oh, unless Buzz gets ahead of it. That's exactly what he does. He just buys time and he wins the round. What a play from Buzz.
Just when you think Na'Vi have done enough. 4 HP left on Buzz. I said he was farming yesterday, but that is outrageous. Look at the time it hit. We talked about the game plan yesterday of denying the spike from being planted. Buzz throws everything. Everything to stop the spike from going down.
What a play. Now 2 from the showstopper. Light armor still on all of them. And they had the money to buy. You see an interesting financial approach from DRX. Mako once again getting challenged. You gotta pick a target, bro. It's either the dog or it's CNED. You pick the wrong one. Zipan's already back sight. Buzz had no idea. See if they can reposition though. Angel's really, really far out. Really far up by himself. Dog spotting him, and yep, Zest from up top, but well handled by Xiao. Well handled by Xiao.
Marco just caught off guard. This time around, no smoke up, nothing for really him to disengage behind. Maybe not anticipating Na'Vi stacked up as heavily behind the Trailblazers as they were, but that's the last time you want to see that.
Yeah, yeah. You can't make a mistake like that twice.
He's on an island here as well.
Which I don't mind as much, but honestly, it feels a lot like the conversation we had around Angel, right? In the first half, like you get a little comfortable, you get a little cheeky, and then you get punished, and surely you reconsider. And that seems to be the case. Mako's nowhere near Garage right now.
Zest finds all
that hurts.
All that spam on the other side of that jump peak, down to 60 HP. With Na'Vi forcing the issue just yet.
Of course, it's
DRX stacked up behind this, Doug.
Yeah, of course, it's a flash to a smoke to set up Angel to take the opening peak. Zipan is there close by. You get some info. And really, by process of elimination, you know it's not towards Mail. Buzz is going to go. He's got the showstopper in a bucky. But Zest not able to find space, not able to create anything with it. Seeker's invested the paranoia out. CNED's able to get through. But Buzz finds space. And now he's got the showstopper, but CNED stops it. A second 2 found onto Sax. CNED's going to win this round by himself. Come hell or high water. He's getting the round for Na'Vi.
Spike planted.
Just nothing for RB to do here.
Well, Stinger in hand has to close the gap somewhere and forced off the initial angle. Na'Vi going to find their 10th here. Themselves a 3-round lead. What the hell is in Buzz's bucky? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Sure, we'll get a look at it again.
And the collat on the Seeker from what felt like 30 feet away.
Anyone have any splits? I may have jabbed, but...
Yeah, we're going to get a look at that one more time. The pass through and what on earth, bro?
Party's over.
I'd be so mad. But again, you know, we talked about it during the round. CNED, in the face of that, able to really able to settle things down.
We talked about a crucial headshot early on from him to deny a paint shot.
Yeah.
Here to deny the showstopper getting posted into the backline of Na'Vi in this execute.
That would have spelled disaster. But they stabilized. Na'Vi up 3 on split. The attacking side showing some teeth. They've won 4 of the last 5 rounds, Mike. They're in full control.
I even mentioned this as well. DRX's strength on the defense on split yesterday, not necessarily getting themselves into a comfortable position so far. They have the benefit of the finances. They're walking a tightrope in that regard. About coming on their first ultimate cycle, obviously showstopper used, but a fairly polarizing performance here from RB today. Sitting at 4 and 13, he was a hero for DRX yesterday.
I mean, even on the defensive side of split, you're right.
Two off the lockdown, one off the pit, so 2 crucial ultimates in terms of the defense overall. Seeker's here for stacks. But everything except for Shao in terms of ultimates on the other side.
I was about to say, the other side does not look any better. Does not really instill any confidence. 4 ults.
Well, talked about being a hero yesterday. Might just need to be once again hit.
It's been quiet, but RB's done well to get 1 so far. Still dancing around, the second with the turret to help. Hero answering the call, at least a little bit, as Zest and Buzz have shown up too.
Control of the spike as well. Angel have to pull off a miracle here to recover this 1v3. Still pretty healthy, but Marco going to be the first one to overcome. And spotted here on the peak. See the other eyes of DRX trained on this position. Now Marco's still with a paranoia available.
Speaking of which, waits it out.
Shadows traveling.
I mean, he's certainly taking his time on this. Roomba, the satchel, the kill not found. Buzz cleans him up. DRX get to 8.
We're here because we're the best.
We're in touching distance still for DRX. Certainly not out of this race just yet. So
No.
RB must have heard me here because he stands tall to the challenge here on A site. Eventually falling to CNED, but unrecoverable at that point.
He did what he needed to do. The damage was dealt.
First time Na'Vi have really shown intention off the rip towards A, especially on one of these buy rounds.
I can't imagine they're going to do it again anytime soon.
Yeah, back towards pressure in mid here and potentially Zest on the other side of things, but a pit will eliminate that possibility. Yeah, okay.
Easy now.
Yeah. But I mean, he's come right out of the pit. Does he?
Yeah, he's
get
fair.
He's got plenty of time to get back in, yeah.
I wondered here what DRX would do with this because you know there's some presence mid. They got a flash and they heard a dog from the attacking side towards A. But they don't. I mean, they don't fully send. They don't fully rotate A.
Well, actually, it's crucial that Zest does get this wall off because Na'Vi have set up right behind it already. RB's utility scattered across site and heaven.
And note where the utility's positioned too, on the other side of the wall. But if they get past it, if they find the timing, that layer's gone. You see him staring at it. Go on. Mouse button 1, there you go. Paranoia out in the dash forward. The turret has been cleared. RB once again has so much to do, and he knows the showstopper's in his face, staring into death with not much to do. Seen it on the swing, and it's Xiao who gets the kill. The defenses of DRX had previously stood so tall, stood so strong, crumble.
Spike planted.
The 2v5 might just see another round where DRX opt to hold onto these rifles. Stacks at a 3K, 2200 for RB. Chance here for Marco to pass one across, but you don't want to see either of these players fall now.
No, not in a situation like this.
A couple of members of Na'Vi healthy though, so they could go on the hunt.
And they're trying. They're looking.
They're going to find anybody though with this little time left. Seeing it still conscious of somebody slipping on.
Yeah.
To find a ninja defuse.
We are due for one of those, aren't we? We haven't seen that in a while. Not a good one like that.
Like the doomsday clock.
Yeah.
About 6 seconds off for the minute.
So with all that, Na'Vi get another again. They just meet the defenses of DRX, punch him in the mouth, and move forward.
And Stacks found blind through the wall. Again, didn't really matter. You expect RB to fall there with a showstopper, but
yeah.
This might be just about it in terms of full purchases left in the bank of DRX. Seeing it quietly along the way, sitting at 24-8 right now.
That's not bad. A pedestrian performance from the start. He's got the potential for more. See this double duelist set up once again, exploring mid. Threatening Zest, and whoop! Showed a little too much leg there. Dashing forward, Buzz threatened. I mean, Cena just looking to do this on his own, and you see how much respect they have to pay.
I mean, so much pressure, though. You have to respect it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forced so deep on this A-side setup. I mean, Buzz still trying to hold down the position on rafters. Na'Vi don't necessarily achieve much other than mid-control on the back of it.
Wish there wasn't much defending it to begin with. And there's the first down. You still have to deal with the other. You still have to do a zip ban.
Bomb buddy out.
A bit of tech there. And a boom bomb into heaven.
Yeah, steal that one. Mako waiting on the other side of the smoke. See Buzz ready to. The nade in hand.
Woo! Zest loves a jump peek.
Yeah.
He really loves a jump peek.
Yeah, he does.
23 seconds left on the clock here, Doug.
A vintage wait and go. And Angel dies already. The spike is still up in heaven. Now 15 seconds left. They're going to have to pop out, and they're going to have to do it quickly. And Xiao has the spike, and that might be enough. Now 10 seconds. It's all on to Buzz. 85 HP. Snaps on the first. The second buys time, and that's going to be enough.
That's it.
He may not get the kill, but it's not going to matter. DRX get the 9th. Oh, when that clip ran dry on that rifle, bro. And he had to switch to the classic. I almost lost it.
Xiao faced with a dilemma, has to come off the plant though. DRX live to fight another day for the time being.
So close.
That's a screenshot right there.
Yeah,
if you were wondering.
Yep.
I got yous, okay?
Operator in hand now for Cena. Still got the Blade Storm. Doesn't have that to fall back on.
I feel like he's had it for forever.
Yeah. He's not needed it.
Yeah. The Trailblazer setting him up into that more aggressive angle. Procs the dash 2, and DRX once again respecting. Buzz is one away from Showstopper here. He gets a kill. There's a potential for something.
But Na'Vi looking to pinch through ropes initially here. I mean, Zipan and Angel in a position to still show presence elsewhere.
And again, very similar idea to what we saw in the previous round.
But I love this clearance towards Garage to confirm that actually it's not split through B.
Yep.
Now, information game definitely favoring DRX here, but Na'Vi are poised to explode onto A.
Yeah, RB has lockdown, but he's not really in a comfortable spot to drop it. With 45 seconds left, does he dare invest it? Zipan gets so high, and he gets one. Saxer on the trade. CNED cleaning things up. Op still in hand, and there are the blades. I mean, that's the round.
Yeah, it's done for. RB even stalling things out to find the plant here. Just Buzz and Marco. Still got the paranoia, still got the showstopper, and the paint shells, actually.
Yeah, and a 2v4?
Shadows traveling.
I mean, maybe. Well, okay, yeah, they're going. They found one. The paranoia, the showstopper invested. Buzz weak, though, 45 HP. What space can Mako find? He swings out. Too many targets to deal with. The investment ill-advised. Na'Vi, map point.
Match point.
DRX are going to struggle coming out that one as well.
Yeah.
Come away with the lockdown, sure, but in terms of weaponry, definitely going to be feeling the pinch. Na'Vi have been allowed to set up so many times. These very explosive, committed 5-man hits.
Late in rounds, too.
In a round where I said DRX almost, I feel like they're winning the information game.
Yeah, yeah.
Committing once again to this Killjoy setup on A. And like I said, against the Jet and a... Well, I said Zest likes a jump peek. Ill-advised this time around.
I mean, really, the first 2 times that we talked about it, too.
Here.
But a much dearer cost. Look at this angle set up from CNED.
CNED knows what's up. Again, the operator also being another curveball that DRX have been struggling to handle, to be honest with you.
What are you going to do? You got a stinger. Oh, come on. If you're going to go, just go, man. Another jump spot. Oh, that paranoia was so good, but it doesn't matter. The neural theft, and out goes CNED. Buzz with the judge, finding one, though, 56 HP. It's not a Bucky. Not from that distance. DRX crumble. And RB's left alone. Holding on to that lockdown for what feels like forever. Never invest it. We're going the distance. We're going to Lotus.
Na'Vi come back swinging in map 2. And the game plan, I feel like they didn't get a steady footing in the second half here. DRX not able to replicate a lot of the things that worked well for them previously on Split. And Na'Vi really slowing the pace down here, controlling everything that DRX were trying to achieve.
And the truth is, Mike, there were some instances in which it felt like it was burned too long, right? I think, again, about that round where I believe it was Buzz who was able to stop the plant just a second away. Instances like that where it felt like you guys are playing a dangerous game here. But ultimately, it was that caused too many fits. That, the op from CNED, just continued to cause problems. Yeah, you think about that one for a long time.
I think as well, I mean, I mentioned this isn't really to crochet, but RB yesterday was so explosive with DRX in a number of clutch situations and a number of situations where I was talking about DRX almost playing anti-plant to deny the spike from even going down. Here it just wasn't a factor. I mean, they almost found no value from the Killjoy setup. You could argue that versus the double duelist, that there's no real opportunity with a Viper and a Killjoy to really split the attack as effectively as you think you're going to.
It was just too much. Fortunately for us, that means we're going to Lotus. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere.